What is your opinion on semester exchange program? If you have performed it, what is your experience?
Going to another country for an exchange semester is obviously would be more fun. There'll be new people, new culture, new institute or university, whatever it's called. Of course, when you speak of universities, the scales improve a lot. When you're in school, it's nothing like how you're in college. There are a lot more resources, a lot more freedom, and of course, you'd be exposed to many more resources there in another university. So that would have been fun, but unfortunately, I didn't manage to pull it off. But I guess it would have been fun because I see the snaps and stories from other people who do, and it quite burns a little in my heart. So it would have been.
Actually, I do have a startup right now, but we are kind of in the product phase. We are defining what our product exactly is, and we are having some hiccups due to the COVID-19. Supplies are being shut down. Our suppliers are facing difficulty, but we will go public.
Both my parents are civil engineers, so I wanted to get into the construction field. After they retire, maybe they would like join in with me to create a construction company or something. Maybe with some new tech and management inputs. So because I might now work in management and they have the technical skills as well, and I'm a beginner in their field. Maybe I thought of actually, it's at the back of my head, and I don't know how my interest shapes out, like I told in the beginning. So I have an idea at the back of my head, but it's not sure.
So IITs offer a lot of things like exposure, good facilities, faculties, etc. What apart from these you feel makes our campus unique?
So, compared to the other IITs, one thing which is very different at IIT Madras is a very good mix of culture, because this is not something which probably a lot of other IITs would provide. Because I had friends from all over the country, which I don't think I would have had I been in Mumbai, Kanpur, Delhi, or I know there are people everywhere, but it's just I felt that IIT Madras had a lot better mix. And it allowed me to explore more. I knew nothing about, I'm not very proud of it, but I didn't know anything about the south of South India. But now at least I can differentiate between Tamil and Telugu and Malayalam, when what is being spoken. So I consider that as an achievement. And and beyond the faculty and opportunities which IIT provides, it also provides a huge brand name, which a lot of us don't understand while we're at Insti. Just entering IIT has given us a huge brand name, which will stick with us for the rest of our lives and is going to help us in a lot of places. Also, we definitely get to build a very good and strong network with our colleagues, with seniors, and even our alums for that matter. So yeah, those are some things which are very useful and helpful.
Other colleges, because I haven't been there, but according to me, IIT Madras has a very good environment with respect to the profs and student relationship. You can actually go to any profs and speak about what you want to think and what you want to do, etc., and you get their perspectives and their stories, and that is pretty cool. And also the seniors were pretty awesome.
Time I've come out of my home actually, so from the childhood I was always my parents, going to school and back to home, and in my inter also I was going to college and coming back, junior college and coming back. So I was never in a hostel per se. So this is the first time I was in a hostel, the engineering time, and I really liked it. Be it the independence that you have or the independent life that you have to live on your own. You have to wash your own clothes, and sometimes you have to make a decision about eating in a mess or going out or cooking it by yourself if you have the instruments and stuff. So that's one thing I would say for any IIT, because for most of the IITs, hostels are a mandatory. Even if you live in Chennai, maybe you have to, it's better, they recommend it that way. It's better that you take a hostel, you live here amidst your friends, and so that you have the perks of being in a group. So that thing is one that shaped me a lot. So I've never been in a hostel, like I said, and this was really amazing. And I liked it. and my parents say I like it too because I never call my parents, I never come home. So I like it. I liked it a lot. That facility was one of the best things that I could ever receive. Maybe that's the same in outside colleges as well. I mean, maybe some beds, or net. You have to be in a hostel, but it doesn't matter as far as I see. So one of the best things that IIT has is the hostels and being in with friends together.
Cool. So, what is your take on NSS or NCC or NSO or NCA, GN? Which one of this?
So I was part of NSO tennis,
Oh,
and I've done a few GN courses as well. So I really liked my NSO tennis. I anyways liked tennis a lot. I wanted to play for Inter IT, didn't really make it to the Insti team. I was like in the probables team, but it just kept me motivated. I felt happy that I'm spending those 2 hours of time in the evening and doing some physical activity rather than just sitting in my room and probably Netflixing or whatever. It helped me like keep healthy, keep a positive attitude, and like just playing like while you're actually playing any sport, like not just tennis, any sport for that matter. It just helps your mind to like relieve you of all the stress, and it makes you feel so positive.
yeah.
And even I've done strategies for professional growth and happiness, habits, and success in GN. Although the reason which I took them initially was that it was known to be Peace Corps, but then I did really enjoy them a lot. So, like, you get to share experiences, share how you're feeling, and it was a very good experience. So, even though it's Peace Corps, so you do get the good grades out of it, but you also get a very good experience and learning from it, which help you grow as a person.
NCC or NSS?
So basically, being a sports enthusiast, I took NSO, but I would have preferred taking NCC if there was no NSO as such. I even tried to do an NCC before engineering. My father would say nice things about it, and he suggested me to do it actually. But being a sports enthusiast and the liberty to make a decision on myself, I took NSO. I got selected in quite a few NSOs. My friends even tease me with that. Uh, I got selected into 4 NSOs, but I took table tennis off it last. And that was because I had a career in it. I played for my districts, and I actually liked the game a lot.
And what are your good habits that you developed in Insta life with add-on bad habits?
Bad habits, I don't think so. I don't think of any. Good habits, I started reading a lot of newspapers, magazines, etc. On got a perspective on finance and others. That is one of the good habits I got. That's it. I learned to play pool. I learned to play a lot of games. I learned to kick ball also while playing football.
We'll start with regrets first because that's something that came lightning fast to my mind. So, sleeping beyond my alarms and during my classes. So that's one thing I'll regret. It has become a hobby or a habit or like I don't know, uncontrolled something urge. I slept a lot, like because I usually was awake at nights with my friends. I slept a lot, and that is something that I regret a lot. And a hobby that I like that I was fascinated by myself is um, maybe my social skills, I guess. I don't know if you can categorize it as a hobby, but that's something that got refined a lot throughout the 4 years. And I see people saying that I can handle the stage all by myself. I still don't trust it that much, but according to what they say, it should be true to some extent. They're my friends and they say truth, of course, to me. And the soft skills is one thing that I truly cherish, refining and evolving over the 4 years.
Not so during the JE prep years, you obviously don't go out. You're just mugging the whole time. So after coming to Insta, I developed the habit of playing tennis thanks to NSO. I used to go and play every single day, cycle a lot of walking, a lot of physical activity. So that is one thing which I'm very proud of. I still do some physical activity even now.
How your view on civil engineering changed when you entered and now as you're graduating? make you
So
graduate?
initially, as per everybody's perspective, I had very little knowledge on how depth is engineering. I thought just building, uh, become a contractor, whatever. But later on, the perspectives evolved after like going to first year, second year. Then I got to know the depth of knowledge required in civil engineering, and there's a lot of analytics now going behind. So it is a very vast subject, and I would encourage everybody who are in civil engineering to start to view all of them as good for them, then and not reject anything.
When I was entering IIT, I wasn't very sure of what civil engineering is, what all comes under the scope of civil engineering. I just knew that it is an evergreen field, and I would always have some work, some opportunity to do something great. Also, around the same time, the um, AM Naik was a lot into news, and I was like, okay, probably somewhere down the line, 10, 15, 20 years, I can be someone like him. So I had great hopes from civil, but over the course of time, I understood that if you're in civil, you don't really have to just be on the field working with cement and stones. There's a lot more, like the kind of work which Benny Rafael or Ashwin Mahalingam sir does. So initially I just thought civil is bricks and stones and cement, and then eventually I started taking these courses in BTCM and explore more, and I finally moved out from civil and started doing CS and non-civil courses. So I still feel civil is a good field. There's a lot to do in civil, but it's just that I didn't want pure civil in my life. I would not tell anyone not to do civil, or if there are less opportunities, but if you have something like just for civil, I don't think has a lot of opportunities right now. People are looking for some additional capability along with your civil.
When I was taking, I had no question because of two things. And one thing is the rank that I got. I couldn't get into mechanical. I would have wanted mechanical if I had the liberty. But that is one thing. And the second thing is my parents. Both of them are civil engineers, and I always can look back to them. They can help me in whatever it is. Maybe not the academics, but maybe my future they can. So when I was joining, I was confident enough that civil engineering is gonna be my thing, and let's give it a shot because situation's currently in its way. So I came into civil engineering and I started, and the courses were just fine, and I wasn't much listening, so they were fine. And as the years progressed, I thought as I told earlier, I was having at the back of this mind that maybe I can be into civil engineering, construction field, and all. My parents can be my backbone. So because of that, I myself got into civil engineering a little more. So during the years, I should say that I wanted to be civil engineer more than anything from the first year compared to the first year. By the end of it, I wanted to be in civil engineering. For starters, it definitely closed my MS option. I applied only in the US, and the situation in US is pretty bad, and he has also closed the visas for the next coming term that I wanted to go. I got admits from good colleges actually. I didn't expect myself to get from one, but I got one that's really good, but I can't go now because of the situation. So I deferred my admit for 1 year, and currently I'm thinking of doing the job, and maybe the situation becomes a little more calmer, and if I don't like my job right now that I will be doing, then maybe I'll get back to it. So that's how it has affected, and it has pretty much not affected my job because they have not rescinded the offer as such. They're still in communication. I should be joining any time from coming 1.5 months.
सारा प्लान था अपना. हम सब हिमालय जाने वाले थे. नॉर्थ पे पूरा घूम के आने वाले थे. सब पानी में चला गया. Like all of a sudden we had to move, and we didn't even have a proper say to goodbye. Or no graduation ceremony, nothing. एंड ये आ गया है कि पर्सनल इंटरव्यू लेने के लिए भी वीडियो कॉल हो रहा है अब. So that is the situation. I feel very bad. And hopefully the thing goes off and we might have a convocation by the end of this year. Hopefully.
It cut my last semester off, which
Oh.
I feel very bad about. And I have missed out on my graduation, on my farewell, on my convocation. All the hostel nights which is supposed to happen this semester. And yeah, other than that, after the graduation part, I have started working, which is I'm working from home. So it it is it is a mixed feeling. Like, you have a lot of good things happening because I'm working from home. I can basically just get up and sit to work. I don't have to wear formals, travel all the way to the office, or do any of that. But also, I don't get to see, I don't get to visit the office, meet the people I'm actually working with. So that's a bad thing. But other than that, it's I am spending time with my family, eating good food, also working. So it's been okay. It's just that I miss friends, I miss Insti.
So we heard a lot about depression and stress among students. What are your thoughts about it?
So it is something very natural. It can happen to anyone. It's just that sometimes people someone might say that this person looks so happy on the outside. This person has achieved everything, is successful in a professional front, personal front. Why would that person be depressed? The first thing I would say is you shouldn't be judging a person for how they're looking on the outside. People might show that they're happy, but they might need someone to talk to. So the least we can do is be there for our friends. Just keep talking to them on a regular basis, like what's up, what's happening, what are you doing. That's the least you can do. And if you as a person, if you think you are going through depression, probably reach out to someone, family, friends, whoever you, or if you think you can't share it with anyone, there are tons of online an online chatting places, online counselors which you can seek help from. It's nothing to be ashamed about these days. But yeah, if you're going through depression or you think you need help, definitely reach out. And if you think that one of your friends is friends, relative, anyone is going through it, definitely try to help them. Just talking or lending a ear might do much more than can make
Many of them might not feel it. For starters, I'm the one. I don't know that people will be depressed over some things, like maybe ACADS or maybe something else. But I haven't been there as such. Maybe I'm a little stressed because I put my finger in a lot of things. So I might be occupied with respect to my time and energy, but I never felt depressed as such. Maybe until now. But there are people who are depressed and who feel stressed a lot. So for starters, it would be better if they start speaking up with their closest friends, and maybe if the situation's getting worse, maybe professional help would do great. But it's something that cannot be neglected for sure. So the only thing that I can say is it's real. People have to face it on their own. And
do not experience those, so I do not want to judge people based on that. But I know that it happens to people, and people are facing a lot of stress because of that industry, and they actually need help from people. So if anybody is there, I am willing to help. But I have no perspectives on. I don't want to judge anybody on that. That is my view on.